everyone, it's Renee here today. Larry's just in his tub off camera. And today I wanted to show you how I make these cute little Ferrero Rocher reindeer. I find that they're a great little gift to give to like your kids' teachers or co-workers, just as a little cute Christmas gift. Or you could put a little string on them and hang them on your Christmas tree for Christmas Day. Your family can eat the little reindeers. Anyway, I'll show you how I made them. Alright, you're going to need crepe paper in cream, brown and black, and also a bit of scrap tissue paper and Ferrero Rocher. You can use any chocolate that's roundish, but for this I find these are the easiest ones. Just be mindful if you're giving them to people that these have nuts in them. And probably other food sensitivities. So check the label or warn people, it might not be suitable for everyone. Anyway, let's make a cute reindeer. So I'm going to start with the body. Right, so to start with, I'm just going to take a piece of crepe paper. Now this crepe paper I'm using is approximately 10 by 11 centimetres, 11 centimetres the stretchy way and 10 centimetres the stiff way. And I'm going to fold that in half. And I'm going to put my chocolate so it's overhanging, the gold part is overhanging slightly on the folded edge. And I'm going to tightly wrap this round the chocolate until I've got a little bit left over. And then I'm going to take a bit of glue stick just to put it on the edge. Doesn't need to be perfect because we're going to cover it in more paper, just to hold it so that we've got this open belly shape. Alright, the little shell that it wraps in might need to be pushed in, and then I'm going to just take the rest of the Ferrero at the back and twist it like this. Not the Ferrero, the crepe paper. So I've ended up with a round part with the gold showing and this little twisted part at the back. So next I'm going to cut off another piece of brown crepe paper, and this time I'm going to cut just a little strip like this. I need a piece of paper to do some gluing on. And I'm just going to pop glue all over the crepe paper. Now it might tear, it might not want to come off the paper. It really doesn't matter. We're just kind of using this as tape. Going over the part we twisted. I'm kind of pulling it tight so all of its crinkles are coming out and that bit's torn. Doesn't matter. I'm going to put a few different patches on. It's almost like paper mache, I guess. You're kind of just gluing bits of paper all over it to secure it and hide all the wrinkles. And I'll just do one more. Get glue all over your fingers while you're doing this. Alright, now I'm going to find where the label is because I want it to be up the right way. So this is the top, and I want to just kind of pinch and poke the little bit, so that's going to be the tail pointing upwards like that. Okay, so let's leave him over there to dry a little bit, and while that's drying let's make the head. Right, so to start you're going to need a bit of tissue paper, and this is random. Just tear off a piece and you want to form a sort of tight ball. And that's probably going to be a bit small for a head, so I'm going to grab a bit more and just make another tight ball. Alright, that'll probably work. So another bit of crepe. Get another glue paper. Crepe paper is very fragile, so if I accidentally put it on another bit of gluey paper, it's going to just rip. Bit of glue all over. And then I'm going to put the mushed tissue ball in the middle, and I'm just kind of wrapping it round and squishing it more. This is just the first coat, it's not going to be perfect, and then I'm kind of just rolling it into a little bit of an oval shape. And it's going to need a couple more layers coating it, so let's cut some more off. Okay, one more should do. In fact, we'll just use this little scrap piece I've got here. Alright, that'll do. So that's going to be the top of the head there. I'm just going to push it so it gets a little bit flat on its bottom part. And let's make some antler parts. So the easiest way to do this is to cut a piece of crepe paper. It doesn't matter how big. Cut it in half. The only real rule is make sure all the pieces you're going to use on this same reindeer is the same. So I've cut 4 pieces that are roughly the same. That should be enough. And glue. Glue all over. And I'm just going to twist it. Twist it like this. Till I've made, tiny little twisted piece like that. I'm going to do the same for all the other bits. Alright, I'm just going to leave those aside for a few minutes to get a little bit of drying started. They work better if they've dried at least a little bit. While those are drying, I'm going to make some ice. So pick again a piece of crepe paper. Again, size doesn't matter as long as the 2 pieces you're using are roughly the same size as each other. So those 2 should do. Glue. And rolling it into a ball. Like that. Same with the other one. Roll, roll, roll. Okay, now wherever you put the features on the face is going to change how the face looks. So with this one, I put the eyes touching each other close together. And I like that look, but you can also put them separate. So I'm just going to rub an eye on the glue and place it on the head. Next. And I'll put them slightly separated this time. Well, quite a bit of separation. Alright, then I'm going to need some more brown, but not a huge amount, but I'll just cut a piece off. So I'm going to cut a little strip. And a couple of little pieces like that. Glue on there. And I'm going to pop it over half of the eye, like that. And I'm just going to use this skewer to press it in against the eye and push it on to the head. It's kind of like we've made a bit of an eyelid. Like that. Same with the other bit. And pushing it in. Alright. There's a couple of eyes. I'm going to get some black. Don't need much black at all, so I'm just going to trim just a little strip off here. So I'm going to cut a little square for the nose. And it's kind of nice if you do different sizes of crepe paper pieces each time you make one, so they've all got a little bit of difference. They've all got their own personality. And every now and then you'll probably need to wash your hands because you'll get so much glue on that the crepe paper won't want to come off your hands anymore. Right, just wiping that on the glue stick. Bring his nose on the end. That's why I'm rubbing my hands together, because it kind of rubs the glue off. And then two tiny little pieces. I'm just going to try and roll in the palm of my hand into a tiny little ball. If this part is annoying, you could just use a pen to draw little black dots for the eyes. And put his little pupil on. And other one, roll, roll. Come on, crepe paper. Okay, wipe it on there. And press his eye on there. Oops, stuck to my thumb. Stuck to my thumb. I think it's time I washed my hands. Come on, stick on the reindeer. There we go. Alright, I'll wash my hands real quick and we can continue. Okie dokie. So now we need our antlers. So let's see if these are dry. They're not very dry, they're still untwistable. But let's give it a go. Hopefully we can make it work. So I'm going to cut one of these probably about 2/3 of the way. So I end up with these size bits roughly. And I want to cut a second one in the same place. And again, do it a little differently every time, you get a unique reindeer. Then I'm going to cut another piece directly in half. So we only really needed 3, I think. I'm going to take my longest one. And I don't think that cut evenly. I'm going to trim a bit off this one so that it's the same length as this piece. Ah, sticky. Right, the longest one and the second longest one. A little bit of glue on the bottom. And kind of make it a bit this shape-ish. And then the shortest one maybe on the other side this time. I mean, experiment with different lengths in different placements. As long as you sort of match them together, it'll work. So because that's wet and it's pulling, I'm just going to take a tiny piece of the crepe, a little bit of glue on it, and wrap it around the bottom just to stop it pulling so much when I touch it. And sculpt it into the shape you want. Alright, that'll do. And I'm going to do the same with the other pieces. A little bit of glue. Sort of that shape. A little bit of glue. There's a bit of Larry on there, I think. On that side. Alright. Close enough. Might do that other one with a tiny bit of crepe around the bottom. If you let these dry more, they won't try and untwist as much. Alright. Once they're dry, they're easier to manipulate into the shape you want. It's just paper. Okay, so let's... Oh, Larry, where are you going? Alright, you go. So you can put the antlers anywhere, sort of the side of the head, the back of the head, wherever you really want. So I think for this one I did on the kind of side at the back. But this one I'm going to put right on the back of his head, I think. So I'm going to take this antler. I think this one can be his, this side antler. I'm just going to press it onto the back of his head like that. And then this one. And do it in sort of the same position. Might need to pinch those a bit more. Press, press. Alright, so now I'm going to grab a little bit of brown. Glue all over. And cover where it's attached to the head. Second piece. Press, press, press. Oops. Alright. I think that'll do. Okie dokie. So let's grab the body. Next we're going to do arms and legs. So I need 4 pieces of the brown all the same size again. So I'm going to fold that in half. Oops, doesn't matter if it rips. So I think that's the size I'm going to want for the legs and the arms. So basically just trimming where the fold is on this crepe paper and folding in half. Okay. Bit of glue all over. Oops, a bit rough, doesn't matter. It's going to get folded in half and twisted much like we did the antlers. Roll it like a sausage. And then on one end I'm going to press it flat, sort of making a little hoof shape like that. And do the other ones. Next, we need some black. That should be enough. And I'm just going to cut some little strips. Might only need 4, but we might need more, but we'll start with 4. A bit more glue paper. And I'm going to wrap it around the hoof end of the foot. Wrap, wrap, wrap. If you've got bits that are poking up that you don't want, just apply a little more glue, push it down. Go down. Alright, so that's one. And then I need some little brown strips for the ankles. That'll work. Right, just using this to wrap it around the bottom of the leg so the hoof is just the foot. And we're covering the black that went up his leg a bit. Like that. Okay, so I'm just going to pop these all next to each other so I can see the different sizes. I think these two will work together and these two will work together, although he's got a tiny little hoof, he's got a bit of a fatter hoof. These are more like arm hoofs, these are more like leg hoofs. Alright, so I'm going to take the leg, I'm going to put a bit of glue on one end, find his bottom and stick a leg on. Right, and I'm going to bend it slightly like that. Other leg. Now just make sure that you've got the same amount of leg poking out. You don't want a short-legged deer. Good enough. Then the usual crepe paper covering. skewer, poke it in. Like that. And I'm just going to trim some of the length off this arm so they're about the same length. That'll work. Ah! Sorry, reindeer. Got you in the face. And pop his arm here. And make sure it pokes out the same length on the other side. About there. Okay. And a bit more covering. One more bit. Okay. Alright, now we've got a lot of joins all around the tail. I'm just going to pop another strip around that just to cover that and help it all stay on and hidden. About yay wide, I reckon. Okay, so there we have our body. Let's now run his head over the glue stick and press it onto the body. Just like that. So there we have our Ferrero reindeer. He needs to dry. And now he's got a friend. Anyway, I hope you have fun making Ferrero reindeer and give them to your friends or hang them on your tree. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you again in the next one. Bye.